Imagine this. A highly trained Navy pilot is flying over the Pacific when suddenly an object appears, moving at impossible speeds, defying every known law of physics. It has no visible wings, no exhaust, no propulsion system. It's just there. And then, in the blink of an eye, it vanishes. Sounds like science fiction, right? Well, this isn't some Hollywood blockbuster. This is a real account from the US military. And it's just the beginning. For decades, the government denied, ridiculed, and dismissed UFO sightings. They told us it was all just misidentified. Weather balloons, optical illusions, or, at best, experimental aircraft. But then something changed. Declassified reports, leaked footage, and high-ranking officials began to confirm what many had suspected all along. Unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAPs, are real. And the US government knows far more than it has ever admitted. In 2017, the New York Times published an explosive report revealing the existence of a secret Pentagon program, the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, ATIP. Funded with millions of dollars, ATIP investigated encounters between military personnel and unknown aerial objects. But why would the Pentagon invest in such a program if UFOs weren't a serious concern? What exactly did they find? Then came the bombshell. In 2020, the Pentagon officially released 3 declassified videos, the now infamous Gimbal, Go Fast, and FLIR-1 clips. These were not grainy, shaky recordings from backyard skywatchers. These were top-secret military-grade infrared videos showing objects moving in ways that no human-made aircraft could replicate. Even more shocking, the voices of the trained Navy pilots reacting in disbelief as they struggled to understand what they were witnessing. Fast forward to 2023, and the conversation reached new heights. The U.S. Congress held public hearings on UAPs for the first time in history. Military officials and intelligence insiders testified under oath. David Grush, a former U.S. intelligence officer, made a stunning claim. Not only has the government recovered UAP craft, but there have also been non-human biologics retrieved from these mysterious objects. It wasn't just about aircraft anymore. It was about life. The All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, ARO, a Pentagon task force created to investigate UAPs, has since released multiple reports. They acknowledge hundreds of military encounters with unexplained objects, some of which show advanced capabilities far beyond our current technology. But the real question is, if the government is finally admitting that UAPs are real, what are they still hiding? Think about it. Every time the truth seems within reach, another layer of secrecy emerges. Just look at Project Blue Book, the Air Force's so-called investigation into UFOs from the 1950s to 1969. Thousands of reports were logged, but the official conclusion? No threat. Yet, pilots and military personnel kept reporting encounters. The same thing happened with the Roswell incident. First a flying disc, then suddenly a weather balloon. If these craft are real, and they exhibit propulsion systems far beyond anything we possess, the implications are staggering. Are we dealing with advanced foreign adversaries, or are these objects not of this earth? And if the latter is true, then why isn't the government preparing us for such a monumental revelation? Despite the risks, more whistleblowers are stepping forward. Former intelligence officers, government insiders, and even NASA scientists are now demanding full transparency. They claim that within classified programs, the government has been studying these objects for years. The problem? Most of these secrets remain buried in black-budget projects, inaccessible even to the highest-ranking officials. So here we are, at the crossroads of one of the biggest mysteries in human history. The government has admitted that UAPs exist, but the real truth is still locked away. What do they really know? How much have they hidden? And the most chilling question of all, are we truly alone, or have we never been? If the US government has been studying UAPs for decades, the question isn't just what they know, it's why they're keeping it hidden. Some say it's for national security, that revealing everything we know about these encounters could give adversaries an advantage. But others believe the real reason is far more unsettling, that the truth is too big, too disruptive, too paradigm-shattering for the world to handle. Imagine what would happen if, overnight, humanity was forced to confront the idea that we are not alone, that beings with technology far beyond our understanding have been operating in our airspace with impunity. Governments would lose control. Religions would face existential crises, and the global power structure could shift in ways we can't predict. Could this be why secrecy has always been the preferred strategy? But if disclosure is such a threat, why has the government started admitting to UAPs at all? The answer might lie in the leaks. Over the past few years, a steady stream of whistleblowers, leaked military footage, and independent investigations have forced the issue into the public sphere. The 3 declassified videos released by the Pentagon were never meant to see the light of day until they were leaked by insiders who believed the public deserved to know. Once the footage was out, the government had no choice but to confirm its authenticity. This pattern has repeated time and time again. Silence, denial, leak, reluctant admission. If these leaks continue, could we be on the verge of uncovering something even bigger, something that would force full disclosure? There's another pressing question. Who exactly is in charge of this information? It's tempting to believe that the president or top military officials have access to everything, but history tells a different story. Even former US presidents, from Jimmy Carter to Barack Obama, have hinted that there are layers of secrecy even they couldn't penetrate. If that's true, then we're dealing with something beyond government, something operating in the shadows, hidden within the deep labyrinth of intelligence agencies and black budget programs. Some researchers believe there are unacknowledged special access programs, USAPs, so compartmentalized that even Congress, the very institution meant to oversee national security, doesn't know what's really happening. If that's the case, who, if anyone, is accountable? And then there's the technology itself. If UAPs are exhibiting capabilities beyond human engineering, such as instantaneous acceleration, transmedium travel, moving seamlessly between air, water, and space, and invisibility to radar, where does that leave us? Some believe these are experimental craft from foreign adversaries, but no country on Earth has demonstrated this level of physics-defying technology. Others speculate that what we're witnessing is reverse-engineered technology from recovered UAPs, craft that have been secretly studied for decades in hidden laboratories. If that's true, it raises a chilling question. Is humanity already in possession of world-changing technology, but keeping it under wraps? One of the most jaw-dropping claims came from Bob Lazar, a former scientist who, in the late 1980s, claimed to have worked on reverse-engineering non-human spacecraft at a site near Area 51. Lazar described seeing a gravity propulsion system that completely defied conventional physics, and he alleged that the government had multiple craft in its possession. He was widely dismissed as a conspiracy theorist until, decades later, official government documents surfaced, confirming that his employment records had been erased and that the very element he described, element 115, which he claimed was key to the UAP propulsion system, was later synthesized in a lab. Could Lazar have been telling the truth all along? But let's take this one step further. If these objects are not from another country, and if they're not experimental military craft, then what are they? The possibility that these are extraterrestrial vehicles is one that many are willing to entertain, but it's not the only explanation. Some researchers have proposed that UAPs could be interdimensional visitors, appearing and disappearing because they are not bound by the same physical laws as we are. Others suggest that they could be time travelers, remnants of a highly advanced future civilization returning to observe us. The more we learn, the more the mystery deepens. Another strange detail that keeps coming up in classified reports is how UAPs interact with nuclear sites. Since the 1940s, UAPs have repeatedly been seen near nuclear weapons facilities, sometimes disabling missile systems with no known method of interference. Declassified military reports describe incidents where entire fleets of nuclear missiles went offline while glowing orbs hovered above them, only for the systems to come back online as soon as the objects vanished. If these were simply reconnaissance craft from a foreign adversary, why haven't they attacked? And if they're not from Earth, what is their interest in our nuclear technology? Are they monitoring us, warning us? As the evidence piles up, the biggest question remains: when will the truth come out? Some believe full disclosure is imminent, that we are just years or even months away from a revelation that will change everything. Others think the cover-up will persist indefinitely, with governments releasing only enough information to maintain control over the narrative. But history tells us one thing: the truth has a way of slipping through the cracks. And when it does, will we be ready to face it? In the end, this isn't just a story about flying objects. It's a story about power, secrecy, and the very nature of our reality. If what we're seeing in the sky is not ours, then we have to ask ourselves a who, or what is really out there, and perhaps even more importantly, what do they want?